Setting up rate schedules in Loan Servicing Soft. Here we are on the control panel. If we navigate to configuration options and expand the folder and roll down a little bit, we see rate schedules here. If you click on that, we're now in the rate schedules tab. By default, our system has one default rate schedule set up. It's, first year term is 10% interest, and then every term period after that is 13% interest. That's just one that's there by default. Of course, you can add as many different rate schedules with as many different intervals as you would like. When you're on the screen, at the top here is where you can add a new rate schedule and give it a name. Maybe this one is 6 months, 8%, then 12%. You're also able to give your rate schedules a little description in here, as well as make them active or inactive. And this will control if they show up on the little rate schedule drop down on the loan screen, which we'll be looking at in a moment here. Once you have the name of the rate schedule set, whichever line item you're clicked on here, it's going to show the intervals that have been set up for it. So let's go ahead and add an interval for this second one we just added. Interval name will be just 8%, and we'll set that from term 0 to term 6 because I'm setting up 6 months interest at 8%. Then you set the actual interest rate. And then we'll add another one for the 12% for the rest of the terms of the loan. And we'll start that on the one term after term 6, which is the last period that 8% will be being accrued. And most loans are going to have varying terms. One loan might be 60 months, 5-year loan. Another loan might be 360 months or 30 years. So if this is going to be a rate schedule that is not specific to an individual loan, like just a one-off rate schedule, if this is going to be used repeatedly, in the future, you'll want to just set this term probably to 999. That way, it'll never stop accruing the interest amount just because a loan, maybe you set this to 60 months or 60 terms. If you have a loan that's longer than that, and you don't remember to set it up for that loan, you might run into some issues with the interest calculation. We'll set the 12%, and then we're all good. So that's how you can just set up a rate schedule that you're probably going to use pretty often when you're setting up your loans. Now let's go look at the loan screen. First off, any changes you make here, you're always going to want to hit the save button in this corner, and then you should be all set. Now, if we go over here to loans, and we open up a new loan, we'll hit manual. When you're setting up the loan, after you get past the loan type and the funding amount, principal balance, and interest method, you then have the interest rate options. This button just controls the fixed interest rate. We have adjustable rate, and then last but not least, we have the rate schedule option. So we just set up a rate schedule over on the control panel, and now when we want to use that rate schedule, we hit this button, and then this drop down gives us all of the rate schedules that we've created that are set to active. There's that default, the one that comes with LSS, 1 year 10%, then 13%. Here's the one that I just created, 6 months 8%, then 12%. You're actually able to create a custom schedule, however. And this is what I meant earlier when I said you are able to, create like a one-off schedule. Maybe, this loan is a bit unique and you just need, a custom rate schedule just for this loan. You can set custom schedule here and then you can configure the intervals. And then after it's configured, or if you're using one of these, you can actually view what the intervals already are. So yeah, for the ones you've already made on the control panel, hitting the view button just shows you the intervals that exist. And then you're free to set up the remainder of your loan, set up your borrower's lenders, save the loan, and you're all set to go. And your loan is using a rate schedule. And that is how you set up and use rate schedules in Loan Servicing Soft. Thank you.